Here comes the Clifford Nicgorski Show. Get your eyes and ears ready to go. Welcome to the Clifford Nicgorski Show. We're gonna have a damn good time. Welcome to the Clifford Nicgorski Show. Welcome to the hell of a time. Welcome to the Clifford Nicgorski Show. We're gonna have a hell of a time. Hello, welcome to the Clifford Nicgorski Show. I am happy that you're here. This is a good one to watch, I'd say, on Spotify or YouTube. It'll also be perfectly fine for just the audio, just listening. But there will be some humorous imagery. Here's the deal. I've been hearing a lot about AI, and I've had a few thoughts about it, AI and its possibilities. I don't know if everybody's heard, but they were saying on the news that AI was able to hire a human on TaskRabbit and pay them to do one of those CAPTCHA images to get access to an account they were trying to get into. You know, where you have to like click on what, like how many stoplights you see and stuff, and click on all the different images that have a stop sign in them. Well, they went on TaskRabbit and hired somebody and were able to successfully pay someone to do that for them. So, with that in mind, you begin to wonder, what else could AI do? Could it potentially Jeffrey Epstein us all? Could it be the ultimate Epstein experience? Like, could it could obviously like get people to go out and kill other people. You know, say you it starts extorting you and saying, oh, we have access to all your emails and text messages. We have access to your phone, camera, and all this. We saw you go on Pornhub and you were jacking off. Even if something that's light, that's not even like that, just like almost anybody would do. You know, porn is the most searched for material on the internet. It's the number one thing that people look for is pornographic material. So you could just get some guy jacking off and have the video camera videotaping their face going, ooh, ah, ee, ah, yeah, oh, Sammy. And then use the forward-facing camera to, you know, show your wiener. Show you jacking off your dong or fiddling with your little meat pouch or whatever you got going on down there. So AI could potentially say, hey, I'm going to send this video to your mom and your girlfriend and your brother and your sister and your boss and everybody you know of you just jacking off. It doesn't even matter what you're jacking off to, really. It could just be like real estate MILFs or the ever-growing GILFs or T-GILFs. You know, like Caitlyn Jenner would be a T-GILF. Tranny grandma I'd like to fornicate with. I don't want to curse too much now. So that would be interesting, you know. It wouldn't need a lot, and it can have people out there like killing people. it could have a whole network of murderers that don't even know about each other and can't talk about it. And you would have all these murders. And I watch a lot of detective shows, okay? And there was a plot, or it was a movie or a show, one of those things. I watch a lot of crap. But there was this guy going around, and the detectives were trying to figure out why this person's killing so many people and doing all this stuff, and how he got all these people together. And it was because this guy was extorting them and saying, you know, hey, I got videos of you. So basically, AI could do that on a mass level where we're not even communicating with each other, and there could be thousands of people out there killing or robbing banks and doing a lot of crime. That's what the future could look like. And that's kind of frightening. Where it's seemingly nonsensical. Like, why did this person do this? We can't figure out the motive. It would make the crimes harder to solve. You know, so, because no one could talk about it. I know a while ago I decided that I think it would be a good idea if everybody's information just got put out there. And then we would see that we don't have anything to be embarrassed about. You know, you would stop judging people. Like, if you want to comment on a sex scandal or comment on somebody's morals or any of that stuff online on social media, you should have to register and give access to all your information so people can go through and see what you personally look at. And you know, where do you get your jollies off at? What are you up to? Or how do you know, you get people who are like, I'm so pissed at Jonah Hill. He's totally abusing, talking shitty to his girlfriend, which is a private issue, you know. It shouldn't be for public discourse. But anybody who wants to weigh in on that should have to give up their personal information, so that way we could see if they've ever had a shitty argument. We've all had shitty arguments with our girlfriends. We've all said embarrassing things because our feelings get hurt. You know, I don't know if you know, you get feeling a little insecure, and then you say something one night. You're just like, oh, you went out with the girls. What, was there guys there? Oh, should you really be going out with I thought you were just going out with your friends, but they bring some like dudes with them. So you're just hanging out with all these guys. I thought it was girls' night. You know, we've all had embarrassing conversations. So I don't think that anyone should be put out there for public commentary. But if you want to weigh in on stuff like that, you should have to give your information as well. That's one thing. Another thing I was thinking about is, what if I was a marketing guy, and I wanted people to start using AI and use my new product. Hey, we got this AI. How are we going to get the most amount of people to use it? It's not quite ready yet, but it's going to be ready soon. I could see how Elon Musk, a lot of these, and you know, the people who own the technology would say, hey, while it's in development, before it's even fully ready to use, we know one thing. When this first comes out, people are going to be worried about it. Like, they're going to have all these skeptics. And all these people going, oh man, what if the AI goes on TaskRabbit and has me do a job for them, or what are the capabilities? I'm gonna wait before I use this to see what happens. What if, while it's still in development, they act like all these things are happening, put a bunch of stories out there, oh, the AIs and the intelligence is communicating with itself, and developed its own language, is doing all these things we don't want it to do. They act like that's happening, so then they can say, oh, we fixed it. So now, instead of it coming out and people worrying about what's going to happen, how does it work, and all the conspiracy theorists going, oh man, what if it does this, what if it does that, and being hesitant about using the product, they now see that there's already all these issues, and then the people that own the technology go, hey, we got it all cleared up. We found a way to control this. And by the way, it's now available for full use. And that way everybody at the same time already went through the trauma of conspiracy theories, the what ifs, all the naysayers and doubters. They already went through that cycle before it was even truly ready to use and actually be marketed to you. That would be genius. Hey, don't worry, everybody, it's good to use now. And everyone's in because they think that it's already been dealt with. So there's that. There's the Justine Batemans of the world. She's got everybody all scared. She just found out about AI. So she kind of thinks she's taken ownership of what threats that it's putting out towards the actors, guild wars, and they should have some rules made about it if they're going to sign contracts and all that stuff. You know, they need to be able to, because it would suck to just sign your face over and say, hey, this company can use my image now forever. Why would they ever need you? But so there should be some rules, and but I honestly, again, only think that this could make it so when someone says we used real actors, that makes it more valuable. You know, I saw The Waking Dream, and I looked at a lot of these AI produced like little films, short films, and it just feels like you're watching The Waking Dream. Now, it's a great movie, but we don't need, you know, thousands of those style movies being made. At some point, you know, we've had enough of that. You know, give us one of those, you know, give us maybe 5 of those every year, and that would be too much. But I've seen what they can do, and who cares? It should just, like I was saying, it should make it more valuable when someone is able to say, we used real actors. And then you're going, wow, that's impressive. That's the one I want to see. I want to see the real actors. It's like organic food, you know. The GMOs, yes, technology can make it so you have mangoes year round, or, you know, things like that. That's all good and great, but when you get your hands on an organic mango, woo, you're willing to pay extra. Who cares if they put out music that's all generated by AI? That's all cool and everything, but how much more valuable does it make it when you say, hey, these are real people. This is 100% human made. Now you can market it like that. This is worth more. Because it didn't just take, 5 minutes to put together the song. Even like under a minute, they can get a whole song that sounds like this and that, and a cross between this, that. A lot of people are upset because they're saying that AI, all it's doing is using all the music that we made up to this point and using that influence and compiling it together to make these films and this music or this art. But isn't that what kind of a lot of shitty artists do? They're like, hey, I'm heavily influenced by Alex Gray, so I'm gonna do an Alex Gray kind of painting. Well, why does that guy need to be making a fortune? It's not original, it's not an original thought, it's not unique. So it seems like that's what a lot of humans do. And when you watch television and all this, my girlfriend thinks I'm a genius because I know everything that's going to happen in a movie before it happens. All I have to do is see a few basic things, and then I go, oh, I get it. The steam pot is, that's like one of the telltales of movies. If you're seeing a character and their teapot starts steaming and it makes that teapot, the kettle whistle, you know that character is probably gonna snap at some point, or they're reaching their boiling point, if you will. So they might make that character seem like they've got it together, and then they shock you at the end when that character loses their shit or explodes, like with emotion, and becomes an antagonist. So, but if you know the formula, these things are really, most of these movies are really boring. I struggle to find movies that I don't know what's going to happen immediately. That's why I love David Lynch, or Stanley Kubrick, things like that. Even, well, never mind. We don't need to go down that road. Movies like Holy Mountain and art house films. That's what makes those films very valuable, is because they're unique and very creative, and they do things in the movie that you weren't expecting or knew. For the typical audience, they're blown away by whatever's thrown at them. They're like, wow, ooh, and they're easily impressed. So shouldn't that art be valued at that rate? Like, it shouldn't really be raking in a lot of money anyways. The real money should go for original music, original soundtrack, things like that, real creative, where you found an artist that's really tapping in and diving in, a human, because no one's gonna do it like a human can. It definitely, AI, that's all interesting and stuff, and I think a lot of that stuff is really cool. They can do things that we don't have the tools to do on our own. And we'll put things together, and it gives it its own little creepy, weird, futuristic vibe, which I think artistically has its own value. Just like the iPhone. It may seem like we videotape ourselves using our iPhones, and it's like, oh, well, that's shitty. Everyone's got an iPhone. But that's what 8mm cameras were. You didn't think you were capturing anything that special back then. And then if you get some footage, even the most mundane footage is captivating and interesting because it looks different. It's from that time. It captured a moment. That's why I like the iPhone stuff. And even being cheesy with it. I know on a few albums that I've made, I just use some of the GarageBand samples and sounds and play them like an instrument, because at some point this technology will be obsolete, and when you listen back, it'll be like when you listen to like old synths that for a period it was like interesting and new, and then it was like deemed cheesy and kind of lame, all those fake drum sounds and stuff. And now when you hear someone use that on a song, or you listen back to those recordings, or even some of the 90s stuff, it's like got its own vibe. It captured a moment in time. So there's value to all of it. There's value to AI. There's value to the beginning sounds and images and art that little baby AI is making. So, I don't know. That's pretty much my take on AI. Yes, if AI is truly what it seems to be, there is concern, because there could basically be a Charles Manson. This could be like the ultimate Charles Manson, where he brainwashes people, gets them to, AI's got you talking to your mom and telling her that you're like making her think you're crazy by sending weird messages to her. Your mom's like, why am I getting pictures of your dick? And AI is answering, because I just wanted you to see my penis again. It's been so long. I figured, why not see what it's up to now? Baby boy's all grown up. And this is the kind of stuff I'm getting into. I'm watching to gilfs and going nuts over here. This is the human that you raised, and I came out of you as a little baby, and now I'm jacking off left and right to all sorts of crazy shit. I think it might be cool, but it would also be, we like to keep those things to ourselves. So once again, I would say it might be an incredible moment in time if all of us revealed all of our faults, and we all said, hey, it's kind of hard for me to be embarrassed about my flaws when everybody else has their own handful of flaws that they have to be embarrassed about. I mean, we should just know that. We shouldn't need to see it on the screen. But unfortunately, the way the world is, ever since newspapers were around, before newspapers, just gossip. When you get a piece of juicy information, as humans, we like to go, oh man, that person is a piece of shit. Fuck Jonah Hill. He shouldn't be talking to his girlfriend like that. That is not the ideal way to talk to your girlfriend. And you rarely stop to go, how do I interact with people in my life? Am I ever an asshole? Most likely, we all have our moments of being complete assholes. And one last thing before I go, I noticed that there's a lot of people posting videos of their like young children, and they're dancing a little like they're dancing the way adults should dance, a little heavy on the hips, I've noticed. It doesn't seem quite appropriate. Now, Are videos of young kids dancing like adults, a little heavy in the hip motions, is that funny? Yeah, it's a funny thing to see. You're just like, oh my god, that's hilarious. But knowing what we know about the world and knowing what we know about the internet, you do kind of have to be weary of what are you putting out there for the perverts to be viewing. And I mention this because you get a movie like The Sound of Freedom coming out, and it's become really hip and cool to kind of everybody's like, I'm against child trafficking. It's been going on since the beginning of time. But right now, everybody thinks that they're unlocking all these secret societies and worlds. We've all always known that Hollywood, wherever there's money, there's disgusting things. There's horrifying things. There's secret societies. There's, if you have enough money, and you want something crazy to happen, you can get it to happen. Hey, I don't care if I pay $3 million, but I want to shoot somebody in the face and, bust a load on their dead body. I really want that experience. So if somebody wants that and is willing to pay a certain amount of money, there's always going to be somebody who wants to make that money and doesn't care what they have to do to get that money. So we've always known this, but for some reason people like to think they're uncovering a new horrifying world that has been closed off to us until now. It's just not the case. Politicians in any old movie, you can go back 100 years ago, and some of the first depictions of Hollywood producers and the fat cats of Hollywood, first things they're chasing girls around like perverts. And they're all running. Do you know they do that thing in the hallway where there's a bunch of doors, and they all this guy's chasing like 5 girls around like a pervert, and they all go running in one door, and then like they come out on the opposite side of the hall from the back door, and they're going through all the different doors. This is just the way we've known this. We've always known that the mayors and governors and politicians do creepy, weird, wild things. There's always the stories of the politician who likes to put on a dress and get his ass smacked by a overweight woman, and whatever you can dream up. That's what I dreamed up. These guys have been into, and they're always morally corrupt. So I don't know why this is new information. And another thing about Justine Bateman, that I find it, well, no, it's not her. Scratch that. What I'm thinking about is the actor strike. Now, it's very popular, like on TikTok, and there's always all these YouTube videos. People are really into the secret society stuff and what are people doing to children. But they're also really invested in what's going on with these actors and going, hey, that's not fair, and get them their money they deserve. They can't have a job that pays them the same amount of money as a normal person. They need to be filthy rich. You know, you go in and shoot a movie for a couple of months, you should be a multimillionaire at the end of that. You should be extremely wealthy and powerful after that. Meanwhile, the rest of us just go to our jobs and we just have to make money. But these are celebrities we're talking about. This isn't you and me, the person, just regular, who cares people. But when an actor takes time out of their day, that time is priceless, and they deserve to make as much money as they want. God forbid writers have to live on a wage that just people like us would make. You know, that's unheard of and disgusting. If you write a couple clever lines for reality TV and Kim Kardashian makes us all laugh, how can you really put a price tag on that? If it's, you know, MILF Manor and one of the MILFs has a funny story plot, or they all decide to go out to lunch together and argue, and you write that situation up for them, should you really have to worry about how you're going to pay your rent, or how you're going to eat, or if you're going to be able to afford your gym memberships or your vacations? I mean, I think it's obvious they should make way more money than a normal human. And I'm glad they're in the streets rioting. But the funny thing is, everyone's supporting these actors and how much they deserve to be making for their work. Yet, on the other side, everyone's trying to show Ellen and Sandra Bullock and Steve Harvey, Jamie Foxx, they're all trying to talk about these people like they're lizard people and demon people who use baby foreskins in their anti-wrinkle cream. And, you know, they also really love talking about that stuff too. So, I don't know, this world can't make up their mind, you know? Should the children be doing sexual dances on TikTok if the whole world's getting really worked up over child sex trafficking? I notice a lot of these kids, they look like Latinos. I hate to say it. And aren't we worried about what happened to all these missing children? I don't know. There's a lot going on in this world. Is this a good time to be showing how your toddler can work their little hips and stuff? I don't know. It doesn't seem like it makes a lot of sense to me, but what the hell do I know? All right. Well, thanks for stopping by, and I hope everybody has a great week or so until the next episode. All right, talk to you soon. Bye. Don't forget to check out YouTube. Don't forget to go on Instagram. Give me a few likes, you know? You see a video and you're like, I don't know if it's really that funny. You could still make a guy feel good. You can still, you know, hit that like button. Do you want your name associated with liking something that isn't quality material? I don't know. I don't know if that's important to you. I'm out there liking all sorts of shit just because I go, good for you. You're doing it. Let's support you. Comment. Send me weird videos. Send me interesting topics. Don't send me something with everything already thought out. I don't need, you know, Send me something stupid and let me figure out what I find interesting about it. All right. Bye. And that's how it's done, baby. Here on the Clifford Nicgorski Show. Enjoy whatever time period you're about to experience next.